Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Aunty Lisa Show. Right. So, who should we have today? Let's see. Oh, Jack from Hidden Side. Nice. Good friend of the show. Kristoffer, Aleksander and Aunty Lisa. Oh, nice. A Stegasuarus. JB, also of Hidden Side. It's only a T-Rex. Yes. Those are some good things to have in a story. Let's see what else we got. Sausages. Deary me. Ooh, Prison Island. Nice. Okay. Oh, we already had that. The North Pole. Okay. Let's have one more from here. The Shrimp Shack again. Okay. And anything else? Nope. That's what the fates have given me. Okay. One day, Kristoffer, Aleksander and Aunty Lisa decided to go to the Shrimp Shack and have some sausages. And Aunty Lisa had some veggie sausages because she doesn't eat meat ones. So they went to the Shrimp Shack and they were just sitting down having the most loveliest time when all of a sudden the police turned up. Well, they charged in and they went, Aunty Lisa, you're under arrest. And Aunty Lisa went, what? What have I done? And they said, well, Aunty Lisa, you have stolen £1 million from the bank. I would have thought that you would have remembered that. And Aunty Lisa said, it wasn't me. I must have been framed. Don't you see? I'm not a nasty person who steals money from the bank. The police officer said, well, I'm afraid we've got evidence that suggests that you are the bank thief. And Aunty Lisa went, oh, what? I was just sitting down for some sausages. Can I take it with me? And they said, no. And then they put Aunty Lisa in handcuffs and put her in the back of a police car and took her to Prison Island. Dun, dun, dun. Well, that was a pretty shocking turn of events. Kristoffer and Aleksander, being the responsible young people that they are, called up some friends to help. So they called up Jack and JB because JB's a grown up and Jack's their friend. And they said, hey Jack, JB, come quick, we've got a big problem. So, they forgot to call. Got a big problem. And Jack and JB said, okay, we'll be right down. We'll see you at the Shrimp Shack. So they all met up at the Shrimp Shack and Aleksander and Kristoffer explained that Aunty Lisa had been taken away by the police to Prison Island for stealing £1 million from the bank, but she didn't do it. And Jack and JB went, I wonder what could have happened. Let us see now. Nope, we haven't got anything. We don't know what's happened. So, okay, let's go and do some investigating. So, Aleksander, Kristoffer and Jack and JB all got in the stunt truck that belongs to El Fuego and went all the way down to the bank. And when they got to the bank, there was all cordoned off areas and they couldn't get anywhere close. So they started chatting to some of the people who worked at the bank and they said, hey, what happened? What did you see? And the people said, well, we saw Aunty Lisa coming in here. She said, your money or your life. And she took all the money and then ran away. And Aleksander and Kristoffer said, but that she didn't, because she was with us eating sausages at the shrimp shack. And Jack and JB went, I wonder what it could have been instead. Meanwhile, Aunty Lisa was at Prison Island in a prison cell like this. Just looking out of the window at all the sharks swimming round outside. It was very sad. She had been framed for a crime she did not commit. Well, luckily, Kristoffer and Aleksander and Jack and JB were not going to let it lie. So, Aleksander and Kristoffer rang up their friend Chad at the police. And they said, hey, Chad. Hey, Chad. Chad said, yeah, what? And they said, well, Aunty Lisa's been arrested, but we don't think she did it. And Chad said, but all the evidence suggests she did. There's CCTV. We can see Aunty Lisa stealing all the money. And Aleksander and Kristoffer said, but it couldn't have been her, because she was with us. And Jack and JB were there, and they said, right, what are we going to do? And Chad said, well, if you're that sure it wasn't her, I'll come and give you a hand, and we'll see if we can solve this crime. So Chad came down, and they all met back again together at the shrimp shack for a sausage and to discuss the problem. And they said, well, I wonder if it was somebody disguised as Aunty Lisa who's actually stolen all of the money. And they said that can be the only explanation. So they thought, who could it be that has disguised themselves as Aunty Lisa? Well, they couldn't think of anything when all of a sudden they turned around because they heard a really loud and crazy sound. And do you know what it was? Well, it was a T-Rex running down the street. And they were like, what? This is a strange turn of events. We're just dealing with one problem. Now we've got a new one. And behind the T-Rex was a Stegasuarus chasing the T-Rex down the street. And behind the Stegasuarus was Owen chasing the Stegasuarus that was chasing the T-Rex down the street. And they were like, hey, Owen, do you need a hand? And Owen was like, no, I got this. I got this. And off they ran. Very strange. And they thought, well, okay, we've got problems of our own. So we'll help Owen later if he still needs some help. So then they thought, well, maybe someone disguised as Aunty Lisa went to the bank. Maybe it was Lady E. I bet she could put on a disguise if she wanted to. She's that mean. So that night they went out hunting for ghosts with their cool little mobile phones. And they went looking and looking, and they saw quite a few different ghosts. But they couldn't find Lady E. Meanwhile, Aunty Lisa was still in a prison cell. And they had given her some porridge, but it was really watery and tasted of fish. And Aunty Lisa didn't like it very much. She felt really sad. So anyway, Jack and JB and Kristoffer and Aleksander were just about to give up when all of a sudden they heard a funny noise. They went, hee, 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 hee. And they went, that's a funny noise. And then they went, hee, hee. And they turned around. And there was Aunty Lisa. And they went, what? What are you doing? I thought you were in prison. And it went, well, I got out. And then they thought about it. And they thought, well, that can't really be Aunty Lisa. Hold on a minute. That must be someone disguised as Aunty Lisa. Lady E, you've done it. Right. So they got out their super phones. And they went, pew, 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 pew. And Jack and JB had their laser ray thingies. Pew, 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 pew. And Lady went, ha, 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 ha. Your auntie's in prison. Ha, 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 ha. You'll never catch me. And whoosh, off she went. And they went, no, we've got to catch Lady E. We've got to prove to everybody that it wasn't Aunty Lisa. And Chad was there and he went, I saw it. I believe you now. It wasn't Aunty Lisa that did this terrible crime. And he rang up his friends at the police. But they weren't convinced. They needed more proof because they don't believe in ghosts. So they all went chasing down. When suddenly they bumped into Owen again. And Owen was like, I still can't catch these damn dinosaurs. They're running riot around the place. All around Newbury and everywhere. It's a nightmare. And Jack and JB and Kristoffer and Aleksander said, well, okay, if you can help us with the dinosaurs, maybe the dinosaurs can help us with a little problem that we've got. And so he said, okay, yeah, we can do that. So one thing that you didn't probably know is that dinosaurs love to chase ghosts. And they said, hey, T-Rex. The T-Rex went, hey, Stegasuarus. The Stegosaurus went, find that ghost. And the Stegosaurus and the T-Rex went, ghosts? And they started charging around. And they went all the way up to the graveyard. And they started charging down the graveyard. And they reached the most scariest bit of it. And they started scrabbling at the ground by it with their big claws and their scary tails. And they went, that must be where Lady E is. And in the scariest spot of the graveyard, they could hear, and then Lady E came out. And then she saw the T-Rex and she went, ah! And then she saw the Stegosaurus and went, ah! What are you doing here? What? And just because she was so distracted at that very precise moment, Jack and JB and Kristoffer and Aleksander went, pew, 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 pew. And they trapped her. And they managed to catch it all on camera as she merged from Aunty Lisa's face into Lady E's and back again. And had all this video evidence. And then she went back over to the hidden side. Oh, thank goodness we managed to distract her with those scary old dinosaurs. Right, let's get these dinosaurs back to where do they live again? To Jurassic World. And so they put the dinosaurs on leads, very big leads, and Owen and the dinosaurs went back on a boat to Dinosaur World. And then Chad and Aleksander and Kristoffer and JB and Jack went to the police. And they said, look, we've got this evidence. It was a ghost called Lady E. It wasn't really Aunty Lisa that did the stealing. Look, she can turn into Aunty Lisa. See? And the police officer there who was in charge went, I guess you could be right. Maybe Aunty Lisa's innocent after all. Okay, but where is the £1 million? And Jack and JB and Kristoffer and Aleksander went, oh, we forgot about the £1 million. Where would Lady E have hidden £1 million? Maybe she hid it at the North Pole. And they've said, well, we can only try and have a look, can't we? So Chad borrowed his brother Drill's helicopter and they flew all the way up to the North Pole. And they saw where someone had been doing loads of digging and excavating. They thought, I bet that's where Lady E has hidden the £1 million. And so they landed and they started digging around. And do you know what they found? Well, first of all, they found some woolly mammoth bones because it's pretty cool. And then they found the £1 million from the bank. And Chad and JB and Aleksander and Kristoffer were like, yeah, we found the £1 million. So they flew straight back and took it to the police officer in charge of the investigation. Said, look, we found your £1 million. We've shown you it was Lady E. Lady E is trapped on the innocent side. You need to let Aunty Lisa out of prison immediately. And he went, fine, we'll let Aunty Lisa out of prison. And so they released Aunty Lisa and she went on a special, exciting boat ride all the way from Prison Island past the scary-looking sharks in the sea. And then they went to the shrimp shack and they had some sausages, vegetarian ones for Lisa, and some ice cream. And they all said, wow, what a brilliant end to a rather busy, horrible day. And that's the end of the story. Love you. Bye-bye.